afternoon. I'm heading home. My brother has called me about 7 times today and left me messages of almost 7 different things. He is still in the hospital. He is still, working out some medicine situations here. Um, it's interesting that he has no memory, but yet he is trying to do different things. And it kind of is revealing to me. And it started making me think about family curses. I was going to call it family characteristics, but sometimes our family characteristics can be curses. And it can, your characteristics guides your behavior, I guess. So one thing I'm noticing, he'll probably call again, who knows, before I'm done with this recording. One family trait I was aware of, and at least my dad has, is the tenacity. Very tenacious, okay? Very, I don't want to say goal driven, but not, we don't give up very easily about things. So it seems as though my brother also has that ability to not give up very easily on things. And that's good, okay? It's good that he has that ability. But because he's mentally ill and because he has memory issues, for him, he doesn't give up. What he wants is to come out of the hospital, and he's trying different things, and he's not remembering what he's doing. Okay? And he's not building a plan, I guess, to work, but he's being tenacious. And that's as best I can kind of, suss out with this. So, and it's, like I said, it started making me think about family, like, characteristics and how people say they behave in a certain way, but it's how we've been taught to react to certain things. And if we've been taught to react in certain ways based on who we are reared with or parented by, we tend to, I guess, that's the best way I can describe it. It's like you repeat patterns that you see growing up. And for him, my brother, that is, he might not remember how to, I don't know, make a plan or whatever, but he still has the energy of tenacity. And because he hasn't been around our father for so long, I can also see the characteristic of tenacity without it being a complete, like, copy of it. This one's going to be a deeper one, y'all. So it's not a complete copy, but it's enough for me to now notice it, that he is tenacious, just like our dad is. He's going about it a different way because he's lacking, a cognitive ability. And I'm also thinking, if I gotta kind of have to think like him a little bit, if I wanted something, what would make me not want that thing? No matter, like, that will be hard for me to figure out, and that's what I need to figure out. So right now, he's getting the care he needs. He's not being held against his will, but he is not well enough to take care of himself. Okay? He's not being held against his will. And I'm looking at the golfers. They're golfing. I was like, people have stepped up their golf fashions. That's, kind of cool. Anyway, he's not being held against his will here, but he also definitely cannot take care of himself right now. He's not coherent enough for that. So that's part of it. So some of the messages as he's leaving, I don't even know what he's saying. It's like he's saying something and it's turning into something else. And I'm like, what? So, he's where he needs to be right now. And it also made me think about, if this is a character trait that's kind of, it seems like it's more on our dad's side. I was trying to decide, like, or figure out, is it our grandmother or our grandfather? And that's kind of important to know, because grandmother, I do remember. Grandfather, though, my dad never met his dad. He doesn't know who he is. So, as a lot of people talk about things like mental illness and genetic disorders or whatever, it's family, some of it is related, and it makes me wonder, how did my dad avoid it? How did I avoid it? How did my brother not avoid it? Okay. Is it conditioning? I kind of think it might be. There was a time when he wasn't around, my brother that is, around the family as much. And he tends to be very influenced. He's a person who gets influenced by others very easily. I'm not saying that he was brainwashed or anything like that, but I feel like he's had a nutritional deficit, first of all, and then having coping tools that he never got, or he was being influenced by others by having other coping tools that don't really work. Okay. So I'm not saying I've never been mentally ill. I would never go that far as where my brother is right now. But I know, I've been depressed before. And I have actually seen my dad depressed before, in like a very dark place for him. Okay. And I can recognize it in myself. I've been in those places too. But I don't know, as far as like my brother, he's in a different category. And I know for myself, I pulled myself out of my own depression. It was one day where I just like, I don't like this. I can't do this anymore. And so I made a conscious effort. And I'm sure my dad did the same. And this is kind of where my brother kind of needs to do that. Not to say that medicine doesn't play a part. He does need the medicine, okay? Not saying no. But he also has to decide. And I usually tell people, you have to decide on your wellness. You can't pretend like, and again, this is the crazy part of this disease. Sometimes the disease makes him not even think he has a disease, y'all. That's the crazy part of it all. If you talk about crazy, So his personality, and I'm trying to decide, yeah, his personality is there because he is calling me like 6-7 times in a day. And the part where his memory is gone, I see that he can't remember what he said from message to message because he doesn't have pencil and paper there. So he can't rely on his memory at all. But he knows to be tenacious. Okay? He knows to be tenacious. And this doesn't work in his favor, unfortunately. That's why I feel like this is a curse. It's like you can have a family characteristic and have it work for your benefit. Like me, and me being goal setting, goal driven, and all this other stuff, but then have it fall back in a different direction where you're calling somebody 7 times in a row because you want to get out. You're not self-aware enough to actually tell somebody what you're really feeling, and you're trying to manipulate a situation that you don't even remember how to do. correctly. Now, I will say he is clever, though. So it's almost like he has to say the right thing to get somebody to do something. But if he's saying the tenacious thing, I'm thinking too, he might even be forgetting that he's actually calling me. Do you see what I'm saying? It's kind of sad and awkward right now. And I don't want to upset him, but maybe I need to upset him when he calls me again and just tell him, I was like, look, you called me like 8 times, 7 times today, and each time you have said something different, and I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe. So you're in a safe place. They will take care of you until they can figure out the medicine. Okay? And that's what he's there for. But calling me 6 times in a day with 6 different messages of emergency is not cutting it. Okay? That's just me venting a little bit. So I was going to get ice cream, and I did already get some really bad, like, well, it's not too bad. I got popcorn. Let's say got some bad junk food or whatever. But I got popcorn, so there's that. And I got apples, and I got my trail mix, because that's, yeah, I need my trail mix, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to go home. Already here, grade some papers. All right, with that, I say take care. Please take care, y'all, out there. Yeah, boundaries are important, even for the mentally ill.